Humanity Matters.
Hello. Thank you for tuning in to Humanity Matters Through Art. We're going to do another second part because we did not get enough of a chance to talk with Janet. And one of the most important things was the healing power of art. So I'd like to introduce Janet Gaines. She had the beautiful exhibition, and we have a few pieces still up there. So I would like to first ask you, with your exhibition and how you showed your own artwork, and then you had students adopt a survivor, but what was it like for you to participate in Adopt a Survivor?
About 20 years ago, when I was invited to participate in that program, I selected a survivor whom I had first heard speak at the Holocaust Resource Center back in 2001. I was invited in 2005, so we're talking about 20 years ago. And I met with her. Her name was Ethel Bower Catz, and she endured an absolutely horrific story and showed so much strength and perseverance in her survival. When she conveyed that story to me, I was meeting with her one-on-one, and she was just going on a first-hand account, explaining to me how she was pushed out the window of this farmhouse, collapsed in the snow. She was confronted by the Ukrainian militia who was trying to just beat her to death. And when she was left for dead, she suddenly had this strength from within enough to run, and that led to her safety. So I created a series of 3 paintings that depicted her story. First, when she was confronted by them, then when she felt this incredible inner strength to run, the will to live, and then when she collapsed again in the final scene, and then her saviors were walking towards her.
Do you take notes when they're talking, or do you remember? How do you work? Because it's a lot she's talking about.
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. And I do have some sketches
good.
from the days that I was working with Ethel.
This is what we want. Our listeners want to know how to create and the process.
I mean, this is a rare opportunity that I had.
So, listeners, you're getting a rare opportunity right now from a real Renaissance modern woman.
Thank you for these
Janet.
kind words.
Well, it's all true.
Yeah.
Everybody should brag about people's greatness.
This is just explaining how, she felt. I was a stone. I was a basket case. I stayed at one of the boys' houses for 2 weeks between the stove and a wall. When he left me, I wanted to get up and run. I tried, but I couldn't. Snow was knee-deep. I couldn't run. I started to crawl, talking to God. I crawled. Where would I go? No one would take me in. Then in the distance, I saw 3 figures coming towards me.
With the pictures, let's see some pictures you have here.
I have a couple of sketches here with notes. This is Ethel speaking, and I was just jotting down notes
on good paper.
My shorthand
Beautiful.
of her stories, and this is just a great opportunity I had. It was a gift to meet Ethel and to tell her story.
Did you take these sheets with you, or when you go back to your studio?
Yeah, I mean, these were basically like my shorthand notes.
Well, you're there with her.
When I was there. This was live.
Oh, my God. This is fabulous.
Yeah, so that's part of the...
Look how you work.
Behind the curtain, that's the backstory.
No, that's a very important story. So when you created the portraits of your parents, I'm going to move on. What did it do? What did it mean to you? I mean, that you're showing me Ethel.
Right. So there were 2 very different experiences. That provided for me an opportunity to really reflect. I did the one of my father first. I did that, I would say, about 3 years after he passed away. I had tried it, and previously, when he was alive, I had tried doing a portrait of him with some of the famous sayings that he had that were kind of quotes to live by. And it was a small attempt at it, but then I revisited that idea years later after he passed away in the form of collage. So I cut out little tiny pieces of paper of words that I found in dictionaries that he had collected in English and French and German, and those were words that described him, and then I set those into the lines of his face.
I love what you're saying. And listeners, I want them to know you're pairing words with images.
Yeah, I
and
call them
collaging.
text portraits. Text portraits, because
It's lovely.
it was really the writing that was driving the image. And then I revisited that idea again after my mother passed away. She had actually handwritten her own narratives about stories of resistance and defiance that she encountered with the Nazis. So I had created etchings of those earlier, and then I repurposed those etchings as a background for her portrait. And again, I inset her own handwriting, her own authentic, curly German handwriting into her face.
I read that you had your mother because she had beautiful German handwriting. And Andy Warhol did it. He had his mother.
Really?
Yes, he had his mother draw for him, and he loved her handwriting and did the images. I have not seen that since Andy Warhol until your work. And do you inspire your students to pair words with images as an activity?
It's a funny thing you ask that, because when I had given the collage portrait to my students as an assignment years ago, one student asked me, we were talking about cutting up magazines and using different shreds of paper as filler material for the portraits. One kid said, "Can I use text in a magazine?" And I said, "Sure." And then that idea sort of percolated in my mind. How could I use text? Wait a minute, I have all of these words that were relevant to me from my dad's story. So the student actually influenced me and triggered some ideas in my own creativity.
I love this story because what's great about this story is that people who are in a position to teach should never say no to what a person's inspiration is. Remember what you love?
It goes back and forth. I've learned from my students plenty of different things.
And so look what happens by you being a fabulous teacher, and we do have a shortage of them. We need more. You didn't know. It's very, very important. I get them when already there's trouble.
Teaching is a creative process. It goes back and forth.
It's an art form.
We get from the students, and then we give back to the students.
Yeah, so this student now is giving you this, and I have to say, if you were to see the exhibition, and you could also tell them where they can go to see the footage, you look at her work and the words that are in it, it is all, now by talking to you, I'm remembering Andy Warhol and his love for his mother.
I'll have to look that up.
Yes.
I will.
It was in downtown in the Whitney when they did a retrospective. People did not know how spiritual he was. He had a cross over his bed. He went to Mass every day. He really did what you're doing, talking about the society, to really uplift us, to heal us, because he was very broken. You know, all of us are broken to some degree. Didn't Oprah Winfrey say it's not what's wrong with you, it's what happened? And I love that you're bringing this legacy.
If you did want to see the guided tour to the gallery.
Yes, please tell them about where they
we can
find
access that on the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance website.
Okay, because that was very, very beautiful.
It's called Lest We Forget, Stories of Hope, Resistance, and Survival.
So the works that your mother created were very important to you, and how does that influencing you?
That just tied in because my mother was an artist in her soul, and no project was too big for her. I mean, she was carving out of a block of stone with a hammer and a chisel. So there was sort of fearlessness that I embraced. And years later, she would say, "Oh, I can't believe I actually did that piece." But there was something to be admired in her artistic, just the way she attacked the challenge of creating a sculpture. And I think any artist, when they see a blank canvas, they see a blank piece of paper, it could be intimidating, but that's the joy of it. That's the challenge of it, that you can turn it into whatever wherever it leads you. And you have to have the inner strength to kind of battle through those tough spots, because it's never a smooth ride.
That's what the rabbi was just talking about. It's like what we're calling is for the artist to be in the wilderness, to not know you see that blank piece of paper and it's very scary. But that's what gets you to the next level without fear, without doing the unknown, where you're going to be. You just stay in the same place, right?
Yeah, it's all about growth, discovery, and the fun.
Yeah. So where can we take, because I'm very interested in education, and I have always felt with my own art appreciation students, I always say pair, when we do a political poster, pair words with an image, because I believe that's how the cure for hatred. So what else could we take from art to really do what we call Tikkun Olam, to heal the world as teacher to teacher, for people who might have an idea, how can we do more of this, and how can we make it very relevant, connecting what we know as being witnesses to certainly what is broken now in an unprecedented time. I know, so your eyes are just moving when I said that.
That's a big question. It's a big challenge. The thing is,
it is
there's a lot of material out there and a lot of things that are wrong with the world. But I think if we as artists want to address that, find an issue that really matters, and if you have that burning desire, then you're going to break it down, see what's important, and come up with visuals that make meaning out of it. And it just has to be meaning for you as the artist. If it speaks to other people, then that's a great thing. But as long as it speaks to you as the person who's creating it and it makes sense to you, then that's the validity in it.
So you're saying what Viktor Frankl said, to have purpose and meaning. So we want you to, as we come close to ending this session, we want you to also be inspired by Janet, who has come here with her work, and to take your program that you have inspired about adopting a survivor, but how about what you're saying is adopt something that you're passionate about and do it in any way possible.
Sounds great. It applies to many different.
Yeah. Is there anything that you would like to say to close this that you would like to put some more light on that
I think you covered a lot in a few minutes. And
okay.
I thank you for having me talk with you. It's been great being here.
Well, thank you. And I want to thank the listeners. I just want to bring all these incredible people so that you could elevate your own life in creativity, and you can heal your life through art and creativity. Have open conversations, make the things that you want, no matter what it is, because that is your calling. That is, you can call it God, you can call it the divine. But thank you, Bernie Fershpan, for creating this platform where we could really talk about Humanity Matters, and thank you for giving me the umbrella under Humanity Through Art. Please come back. I, Ranelle Wolf, thank you. And thank you so much for listening.